Yo, Still Mills, what's the dizzle, man? I just left the eye doctor, man. Because of my diabetic situation, I had to go see by a diabetic specialist in the same place that I got my new glasses from, man. So I got these dumbass shades on. I ain't no shades wearing ass nigga, bro. This ain't like I ain't never been one of the niggas who wear stunner shades and all that shit and nah, that ain't never been my cup of tea. So this shit, even driving like this is foreign, walking outside in public like this is foreign to me. They made me put this shit on, man. But peep game, man. I want to get into some shit, man. And that's oh man, David Benavidez versus David Morrell, right? Like everybody kind of sweeps up under the rug that David Benavidez ain't really paying too much attention to someone like a David Morrell. He's just really hell bent on fighting Canelo Alvarez. Now I get it. David Morrell is a high risk, low reward fight. And high risk is definitely what it is, man. I think he sees the potential of that dude being a threat, but he is gunning this dude down. He's like, I bet you going up to 175, I'm going up to 175. I'm about to walk you down. And the energy that he has for somebody like like that he has for Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't have for David Morrell. Even though everybody expects Canelo to go fight David Morrell or David Benavidez. You dig what I'm saying? They're not giving David Benavidez that same energy as it pertains to that they're giving to Canelo Alvarez about ducking said individual fighters, especially when David Morrell was allegedly penciled in to fight David Benavidez, according to Samson Lukowicz. That's why you can't really trust that team, man. Like it's too much fuckery that goes on with that squad over there, man. But he said something that bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he say? I can see David Morrell is a fight that needs to be had when both of us are champions. And that's the same type of energy that him and his team had when it came to fighting Caleb Plant. Y'all are so hell bent on fighting fights when they have some sort, like that when they have some sort of significance to them, instead of just fighting the fights as they are now, like they don't have any sort of significance to them now. There was no reason for David Benavidez to fight Caleb Plant last year after neither one of them had a title, and Caleb Plant had been knocked out by Canelo Alvarez. It was just no reason for that, man. It was no reason for that whatsoever, man. That was a waste of time waiting 5 fucking years for that fight to be made. I thought that was utterly ridiculous, man. It was just like, what are y'all doing over there, man? And this is the same type of energy that I'm getting from this dude saying this shit, bro. And nobody's, ostracizing him for it neither, bro. Like y'all just really gonna give him a pass for saying some shit like that. Like, it's cool for him to not have to deal with someone like a David Morrell, but it's imperative that Canelo goes fight David Benavidez, and you ask certain fans, David Morrell. I think that shit is utterly ridiculous, man. Why do y'all need to be a champion for y'all to fight? I just never understood that shit, man. So what you saying? What happens if y'all don't become champions? Then that's not a reason for y'all to fight. It is like you can't. There's no way you can. There's no way humanly possible that you can make that make sense. The fight needs to happen because it's an interesting fight. It's an interesting fight. We want to see if David Morrell can live up to the hype, and if he can fight at that level, because he hasn't fought anybody the caliber of a David Benavidez. He honestly haven't. Now, granted, David Benavidez isn't this highly touted and highly skilled fighter. He is not that, but there's certain attributes in his game that someone like David Morrell has yet to see, like his endurance, like his ability to put punches and bunches and maintain that volume throughout a 12-round bout. Just a couple of fights ago, David Morrell was gassed. And one of the biggest things of the PBC is they'll put you in there with overmatched opponents to, somewhat boost your brand. But it also gives you a false sense of security. I was talking about Gary Antoine Russell not too long ago with somebody. He was trying to convince me that Subriel Matias is ducking Gary Antoine Russell. And I'm like, yo, y'all do realize how ridiculous that sounds, right? This dude is a champion. Why is he ducking Gary Antoine Russell? And the past 2 stoppages that he's gotten, once again, gave him a false sense of security. There was no reason why Victor Postal needed to be stopped in there with Gary Antoine Russell and Ramesses Bartholomew, bro. No. He was under a high level of duress in the Bartholomew fight, and Victor Postal just wasn't getting touched like that. The fuck are we talking about? But that's the PBC way. You dig? They'll put you in there with overmatched opponents, and when they put you in there with overmatched opponents, it's to make you look good. It's a showcase bout, as opposed. And now all fights should be, because you should be able to showcase your your capabilities in the ring. But when you are in there with someone that is completely overmatched, you gain a false sense of security, and like I said, your flaws aren't being highlighted, so you don't know what to go back to the drawing board and work on, unless your coach and your corner have the eyes to see those flaws, even in a position where you're dominating in the fight. You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. Like, y'all niggas is brazy, bro. So that's what it is. Just that. That's what it is with David Morrell. That's what the PPC was doing for him. Just really just giving him a false sense of security, man. Even though we fuck that eye test shit, you know what I'm saying? The eye test is gonna tell you, yeah, Brian, homeboy is nice. Homeboy is nice. But what happens when, just of course you're gonna look nice if you in there with dudes ranked in the bottom 50 and 60. It's yeah, you're supposed to look good in those fights. David Benavidez has at least fought Caleb Plant. And you can argue Darrell. Those are his best wins. So the false sense of security that niggas get out of fighting in these type of fights is just asinine to me, bro. And so with that being said, we don't know where David Morrell stands. And David Benavidez may have he may have the tools to really push David Morrell, possibly get him out of there, beat him a 12-round decision on experience alone. But we also seen what good feet could do to someone like a David Benavidez, man. Even when you look at the Demetrius Andre fight, the way that he had that man off balance, Demetrius Andre had a much better engine and had been in there with quality opposition to push him, so he knows what to do in them type of pressure situations and dig deep and knows what works and knows what not, what doesn't work, and knowing that, all right, cool, I got him off balance. Let me modify, moderate my movement so I'm not giving him as much movement and wearing on my gas tank. Let me do that, because this ain't a dude that this ain't goddamn Liam Williams or nothing like that. This ain't him. This ain't what's that dude's name? Him and Edgar Berlanga have a common opponent. I can't remember his name, but this ain't them dudes. You dig? I can't just sit there and do laps around the ring and initiate the offense when I want to initiate the offense. Like, nah. Had Andre had that type of IQ, that fight could have possibly been a different ball game. It could have been a different ball game. But David Morrell, I think, has those tools that Demetrius Andre has with the bigger punch, and it's just naturally more brolic. So I don't know, man. You dig? It's a good fight. It's a good fight. Both of them have attributes that can exploit the other one's flaws, man. The difference is just so there's just no reason why that fight shouldn't be happening in the now. There's no excuse for it. There should be nothing stopping them from getting in the ring and fighting. There should be nothing stopping him from doing that. And there should be nothing stopping his fans from demanding that. I'm a Canelo fan, bro. I want the David Benavidez fight. I've been wanting that fight since before Bivol. I didn't like the Bivol fight, even though I understood it. You did, like like I said, I'm ambiguous with my arguments unless it's just something to the degree where it's like, all right, bro, that shit just can't be denied. I wanted the Benavidez fight over the Bivol fight. However, I understood that a fight with Bivol and him beating Bivol, it's a much better win. It's not even close. It's a much better win than David Benavidez. Why is it a better win? Because when he went up and fought Sergey Kovalev and knocked him out, y'all had all the complaints in the world about that. All right, cool. I'll re-venture back into that division and go and take a belt off off another champion. Then when he comes up short, he's ostracized for it. You dig? It is what it is. Champions lose. I understood why he did it. Bivol a much bigger legacy fight than a Benavidez. A Golovkin fight is a much bigger fight than these other fights. Yeah, Golovkin was still being called out and yearned after by these, the younger generation. Why wouldn't I go up there and fight him? There's still a demand for that fight. So it made sense. That doesn't mean I liked it. That doesn't mean I liked it. I've been wanting the Benavidez fight for a while. But the difference with me is because I'm an objective fan, I can argue in favor of him, and I can tell you what I'm not. He's getting on my nerves doing this and that and the third. I'm just never in a position to say he's getting on my nerves doing this and that and the third on these forums because nobody comes with a sense of objectivity in a debate. Niggas is just in there, spewing their feelings all over the,